This week at Frank's, here come the girls. And how did I get on at the Nationals? It was bike night at Frank's last Tuesday, and you didn't disappoint. As always, it was nice to see all the different shapes, sizes and varieties of different bikes. The weather was decent, and so was the turnout. But something I noticed was there was rather a lot of lady riders this time, so I thought I'm going to have a word with them and find out what their experiences are and see if they receive any comments, good or bad, from men about their biking. And before the men throw their hands up in horror, no, this isn't an attack on the men. I just wanted to talk to the ladies because there aren't that many, and I always seem to talk to the men, and I just thought, you know what, let's find out the woman's perspective about biking and just see if we still get comments in this day and age. I'm here with Liz at Frank's Bike Night, and we are at base camp tonight. So Liz, I thought I'd do a bit of a thing about lady riders because we don't have many of them. There are more and more, but we genuinely don't have many of them, do we? So how long have you been riding?
I passed my test in 87.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's was nearly 40 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's scary. I used to be in the TRF, so I used to do a lot of off-road stuff.
Brilliant.
And I used to compete in trials.
Fantastic. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And do you know what I love about seeing lady riders is obviously there aren't that many of us, but I like seeing people who do ride on their own, because a lot of people, you get asked the question, oh, is that your boyfriend's bike, or is it your husband's, or are you riding, or are you a pillion? And no, you are here on your own with your bike. What can you tell me about your bike?
This is a Triumph Scrambler 400X. I had a bit of a gap from riding, so I thought I don't want to get one too big as I'm just coming back to it. So I got myself a little 400. It's a lovely bike, but I'm thinking of getting the 1200 now.
Ooh,
I had a go of it the other day. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going down to France to visit a friend next year.
Fantastic.
And I it's better to have a bit, need a bigger bike for that, really.
Yeah.
That one would be a bit of hard work going all the way to the Alps.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely bike though. Looks very comfortable on the seat.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a lovely bike.
Do you get any comments?
No, I think the biggest comments I get, because I've ridden with a couple of sort of women's clubs. I go out with the Curvy Riders.
Oh, bro!
Sometimes now, yeah, great name, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when you walk into a cafe and you all take your helmets off, blokes go, "They're all women."
Excellent.
So that's sort of that I love doing that.
Creating a bit of a scene.
Yeah.
Oh well, thank you very much for talking to me. Enjoy your night.
Okay. Well. Yeah, thank you very much.
It's a lot more women on bikes these days than what there ever has been. A lot more lady riders, which is good. I did have a delivery driver who came to my home once, who asked my husband what he'd said to me to get his bike in the lounge, and he said, "That's her bike, mate." Yes. And one up for the girls, eh? Yeah. So brilliant. Yeah, that was quite funny. This is a Honda Rebel. She's an 1100 DCT version. It's perfect for me. I can flat foot it. It's fairly light. It's 227 kilos. Yeah, it's my therapy on two wheels. I've recently just done the Pyrenees, all northern Spain with my husband. We did just under 3,000 miles in 2 weeks. So, yeah, it's a proven thing.
We've got Jenna and Olivia here who come to Frank's Bike Night, and I'm just talking to lots of people today about lady riders. Do you think, as a lady rider, you get comments from men like that you wouldn't think that you'd hear in this day and age?
Yes.
So what kind of comments do you get?
Whose bike is that? Do you actually ride?
Do you do it just for the content to look all sexy on a bike? Automatically just assuming that it's all for online stuff.
That is a
instead
big
of
one.
that you have a love for bikes.
Wow, that's unbelievable. It's just not okay, is it? You know, in this day and age, we can do what we want, we can be who we want to be, and we still get those comments.
Yeah.
So, what do you tell them?
Can't swear on here, can I?
No.
Just basically to mind our own.
Yeah.
You know, let us ride our own. We enjoy it just as much as the men, and it's for everyone, no matter how big or small your bike is.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in it for the ride, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's a massive mental health piece.
Definitely.
And that's why we do it, because we love it. Otherwise, we wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So can you tell me about your bike?
My little Grommy.
This is awesome. Love this thing. When I saw it come in, I was like, yes. Well, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy your bike night.
Lovely, thank you.
Hi, Julie. Welcome to Frank's Bike Night. Now, I've just been talking to a few lady riders about the comments that they get for being a lady rider. Have you received such comments?
Sadly, yes, it's all too frequent event. I've been riding bikes since I was little, since I was 8, off-road, and then I got my first road bike when I was 16. Had a break when I had children, and then went back to biking about 12 years ago.
Excellent. So what sort of comments do you get?
Oh, is that your little bike? It's an 800. There's nothing little. I'm little, but the bike's not little. And there's a bit of a hill there, so do you want to park it, put it in gear, because it might roll back? My reply to that was, do you want to tell my husband the same? Or is it because I'm a female? Or the best is when you go into a shop and you actually want to purchase a bike and you get totally ignored.
Yeah.
So when I was purchasing this bike, I went into said dealer and I stood there for 20 minutes while people ignored me.
Unreal.
And then a sales assistant finally came over and said, oh, is there anything we can help you with? And I said, yes, I'm looking for a Ducati Scrambler. He said, oh, I thought you were that gentleman's wife.
Oh, no.
And I said, no, I'm looking for a brand new bike.
Wow.
So you do get, sadly, it was very common when I was first starting out on bikes, and I thought it would have improved, but it's not really.
So it is nice to see quite a few lady bikers here today. And I've been asking them about their bikes. What can you tell me about yours?
So mine is a Ducati Scrambler 800. It's a twin engine. It's obviously a bit of a retro. It's my second Ducati Scrambler, and the reason I chose it is because, obviously, as I said, I used to do motocross as a child, and it just fits me perfectly. Absolutely love it.
Thank you very much for talking to me. Enjoy your bike night.
Thank you.
After talking to these fabulous ladies, I decided to go for some tea, and there was an amazing selection. I went for the chili and cheesy chips, and it was delicious. Thanks, team. And then it was time to say goodbye to everyone after another successful bike night at Frank's. See you at the next one. This is a 1949 BSA Bantam D1. And what a lovely thing she is. The next day I did this bike's advert and I discovered something really quite interesting about this one, which coincidentally tied in perfectly with what I was talking about at bike night with the lady riders. Have a look at this. And as if by magic, some history appears. Inside the gorgeous little wooden box that came with this bike was a little note or a plaque. 2 owners from 12th of January 1949 to 21st of April 1951 when purchased by Miss Glenys Brandreth near Stoke-on-Trent. And this bit's really exciting. As young ladies then were generally not recognised as motorcyclists, Glenys was, in my opinion, a pioneer. A recent conversation says, and I quote, "Seamus saved me from lots of scrapes, including altercations with black ice and streetlights, which we used to call electric gas lamps. I got to be quite friendly with the local police officer who called out knowingly, 'It's a girl, you know,' and to me, 'Come along, missy.' Lovely days. I think of myself as a pioneer, a very good word, but it seemed to be several years before an appreciable number of girls took to the road. I think of cold fingers, cold toes, and limited hairstyles, but when I caught the bug, I can remember when we both flew through the air like king of the birds." And that was Glenys Unwin. And there's a picture, it says Glenys on board, Seamus in the early years. Isn't that lovely? And so even then, back in 1951, we had lady riders. So men, sort it out. And so obviously I just had to choose this bike as my bike of the week due to its amazing history, wonderful story, and the fact that it had a female rider from way back in 1951. News flash. Frank's Motorcycles are attending the Copped Up Bike Show on the 7th of September this Sunday in Ipswich, and it is going to be fantastic. If you're going, come and say hi. We absolutely can't wait to see you there. You might remember a couple of weeks ago that I went to Ludlow for the UK Round 3 and I got a bit of a battering, and it was a bit touch and go whether I would get the car back in time to make the Nationals. Did I get it back? Yes, I did. We picked the car up on Thursday straight after work and on we went to Evesham where the Nationals was being held. Sponsored by Monster, believe it or not. I proudly displayed my Yorkshire flag and just got a bit of fettling done with the car before Heat 1.
Who's that smoking?
Heat 1 was fantastic and I had a huge lead. The car felt absolutely spot on and I was so happy to have won Heat 1. Heat 2 was also meant to be on Saturday afternoon, but the weather got the better of the track and sadly because it had polish and then rained on top, it was just far too slippery. So we had Heat 2 on Sunday morning. The weather was much better on Sunday morning and I was excited to try the car out again. This time I had a good inside line. But things didn't go quite to plan, sadly.
Justin Bluck in SR20. No time to read them because we're already away and racing then. Who is going to be the first one to show? It's going to be Scunthorpe 95, who's quickest away as they go into that all-important fourth corner. Header plates. Oh, Helen's over. Oh, there's all sorts of carnage behind, and that's immediately going to bring out the red flags.
Sadly, I applied the brakes a bit too soon because I saw a car coming across in front of me. It sent the car sideways and I hit two cones and the tyres that were holding them up, and subsequently it dug in and it rolled over. My first ever roll, and yes, it wasn't a very nice experience.
So my ribs are in. On my first roll, Nationals is over for me. I'm not coming back out, the car's a mess.
Race 4 can stand by.
It'll all fix. Just need to get my breathing sorted out because it's actually not nice. But you can always tell when I'm in pain because I get craters in my face. Oh, don't laugh. Right. Anyway, it's very sad, big shame. But we'll go again in 2 weeks hopefully for UK round.
Because they'll all come over here, so I'll give them it back.
So yeah, that's got an actual hole in there.
But yeah, it's all fixable. We'll be out in the We'll be out for UK.
Yeah. That's my Nationals done. That bent. That's stowed in again. Don't look too bad at the front considering I landed on my bonnet apparently. That's a piece of wheel, alloy wheel. That's Reese's wheel that I've broken. Sorry Reese.
A spare bit.
And just all around here. Yeah, that's snapped clean off. Oh, wow. Done that good and proper, haven't I? Blimey. That's bent yet again. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Ladies class 2, heat 3, race 1.
So that is
SC1, B12H, C.
Ladies and Juniors Nationals 2025 over for me, which is very sad because I had a win yesterday. This was Heat 2 even though it's run today because of the weather. But yeah. So it was a very sad end to the Nationals and I only got to complete one race. As you can see, the car is an absolute mess, as is my rib. I think it's broken. But it won't stop me because as a hardened northerner, I just want to get straight back on the horse, so to speak. And so in 2 weeks' time, we're going to Sturton for UK round 4. I'll bandage myself up if I have to. Now, the big problem is, will the car be fixed? I will keep you informed. We did go to the auction the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the results were quite interesting.
The results were very interesting.
people think that the classic car market's going down?
Yeah, look, I mean, we tend to buy our cars privately. You know, we like to go open the garage door up or the shed door, you know, the old barn, and we like to find that beautiful barn find that everybody wants to find, and that's always your dream. Occasionally, we do buy cars from auctions, and I'd say probably sort of 3 to 5% of our cars come from an auction. But we do go further afield. We do like to look out in the market, or we do like to just try and find something that is a little bit barn find, needs a little bit here and there that we can titivate and make nice. You know, like electrical stuff, and it just means we can pass that on without the risk to a customer having to buy from the auction. But what we did notice at that auction is some of the quality of the vehicles and the prices were astronomical.
Yeah. Franks took a trip to the classic car and bike auction the other day, mainly obviously to see what was on offer, but also for a little bit of market research to see what cars are doing at the moment and seeing which cars making the money, which cars aren't making the money, but also to compare their cars to their adverts that are online and in the brochure. Compare them to what they look like actually in the flesh, where you can get up close and personal and have a good look around them. Now, this isn't supposed to put people off from buying from an auction. The reason for this is that we thought, well, some people might not know what auctions are all about. You know, auctions are there for affordable cars or people who might want to do something up or to try and grab a bargain. But a lot of people can't actually get there to see the cars themselves. So this is where we thought it would be a good idea to show people the potential horrors of buying from an auction, but also the absolute gems that you can get from an auction if you're lucky. So let's just look at the brochure here. The car looks quite nice, got a nice little write-up, but then you look at the actual car itself, and from a distance it looks okay. And then you get closer to it. And once you take a closer look, you can see the flaws that you can't see from a brochure or from a long distance photo. What a shame, look at that. It's scabby, it's rusty, it's probably gone through. And then the closer you look at the car and the more you look at it, you just see more and more flaws in the car. And it's like, you know, if you were to bid on that unseen, you'd end up with an absolute nightmare. Let's look at another example. This nice looking Ford Cortina, let's get a closer look. Again, looks okay from a distance. Oh dear. The closer you get, the more you see. In fact, you don't have to get this close with this one because the paintwork's a different colour on some panels. Look at the lacquer peel, the rust it's gone through. Such a shame. And these are the things you just won't see if you're just looking at a brochure or bidding just online. You just do not see these things. I mean, look at that. That car would just be a massive risk and I would just walk away from it. But imagine if you'd bought it just off the picture that you saw online, bought it off a whim, you know, completely got caught up in a bidding frenzy and just went for it. And then you went to pick it up. You would be absolutely heartbroken with the amount of work that needs. So looking at the results of what this Cortina actually made, there was no reserve, and so the price, we feel, reflected its condition. As with the Spitfire that looked beautiful from far away, but then didn't on closer inspection, again no reserve, so price reflected the condition. And then look at this Mini. We thought the estimate was fair because it was a write-off, but look at it, it went way over its estimate, and that's the sort of thing that can happen at an auction. And our final example is this one. Look at the estimate, then look at what it made. Oh my goodness. So seeing these results, I asked John why he thinks classic cars and classic bikes are making what they currently are in the market.
And I think one of those reasons is obviously with interest rates dropping, people are also worried about their money being, dare I say it, being taken away from them. Yeah. You know, if they've got savings in the bank, why have you got savings? Are we going to get taxed on it? There's a lot of fear of this. So what we have noticed is a big shift in the market where people are saying the banks, we're not earning any money from it. Let's put this into a classic car. You know, hopefully there's no depreciation on the classic car. We've always known historically that they do tend to creep up on a long-term investment. Yes, I think if you're buying a car today and you want to sell it next year, yes, you're going to, you know, it's not a guarantee. But if you leave it over a term, normally you'll see an appreciating asset.
Yeah.
Also, I think really with the modern car, you know, it's being taxed heavily. You've got road fund license, along with the taxes that some of the road fund licenses now are astronomical. if you look at the fuel costs, the cost to service them with all the technology, the computers in them, it's astronomical. And a lot of people now are seeing a 40-year-old car, weirdly, is in some cases quite a modern car, you know, and they're seeing that the fact that they can drive this relatively modern car that they could use as a daily, and think, well, hang on, I've got no road fund license, I've got no MOT. Yes, it's got to be safe and everything else. You can have classic car insurance, so your costs of running that vehicle are very low.
Yeah, and it's just so easy to work on as well compared to modern cars.
Absolutely, you can lift the bonnet and see what's going on. So I do think there's two areas of the customers that are buying these. Number one, people fed up with a modern car that's costing them a fortune, that's also depreciating. They're now buying modern classics that just fit into that 40-year-old, that they don't, 40 years old, that they basically don't have to worry about MOT, don't have to worry about road fund license, classic car insurance. So they're saving money, and the vehicle's not primarily costing them anything because it's going up slightly. And what we've noticed is the other side of things is people who have normally got money in investments, savings, they've turned around and said, we're worried about our savings, we're worried about our investments. It's a bit volatile with the market at the moment and how we're being taxed. So much change going on. They're pulling the money out of these investments, pulling the money out of savings, putting it in a classic car or motorcycle, which I think is a very clever thing to do. Yeah. I'm not a financial advisor. Obviously, I would always say seek financial advice. But I would turn around to you and say, it's quite a safe bet, and you can get to look at it or you get to use it. It's a usable asset that is potentially going to be going up in value. So I think it's a good call, and I think we've noticed the shift in pricing going up, and certainly a busier showroom.
Thanks very much for watching. Now you notice behind me we've got the Trojan Noddy, which has actually sold. So what I'd like you guys to do is please subscribe, because we've got an amazing story. It has sold to a museum, and the story behind the selling of this Trojan to the museum is a fantastic story, and you don't want to miss it. So please check back, because over the coming weeks we're going to reveal this amazing story. Thanks for watching. See you next week.